Welcome back, everybody, to the IndyCar tournament here at Boss Championship Racing. I'm Nils Nilsson, and this is Donnie McFadden.
What's going on, everybody?
Just want to say a quick thank you and shout out to Spoolheads Racing for helping us with the new section of track. Definitely couldn't have done it without you. Well, let's meet the drivers for group number 3.
In the number 84, this is Ignis Sean Sparks of Spirit of 64 Racing.
And next up is Major Finish in the number 7 from Big Poppy Racing of Shelbyville, Tennessee.
And from one of my favorite builders ever, this is Numbskull from Numbskull Racing of Vulcan, Michigan in the number 12.
And lining up next to him, this is Rosie in the number 2 from 409 Diecast Racing, Dallas, Texas. Well, these are the drivers of group number 3, race number 1 coming up next. Well, again, if you're new, thank you for being here with us. Hope you enjoy the racing, and the cars will rotate clockwise.
I think we're in for a pretty good show today.
I agree, and here we go. Lights go green, and they're off. Great start from Sparks going into that hairpin. Here comes Major Finish, though, into second. But Sparks with a clear lead, getting all that clean air, takes P1 and the 5 points.
Will anyone catch him today? That's really the question for me.
Well, we've just had one race, so here's the replay. And yeah, Sparks with a great lead. Takes P1, but Major Finish with a great pass, coming in P2. Numbskull there as well. In P3, Rosie's got some work to do.
Honestly, I really like Numbskull. I don't know why, I just do.
That's cool. I mean, you can. You're definitely allowed to like a driver. Well, Rosie off to a good start into the hairpin, but here comes Sparks into P1, and Major Finish right behind, can't make it work, and there's a crash in the final corner, and Numbskull looks to be stalled out.
Oh, gotta be kidding me.
Looks like he will be okay.
I just feel like Major Finish went too hard there in the last corner, but I could be wrong.
Well, let's take a look here at the replay, see what happened. Sparks with a clean pass out in front, but all the action here is in P2 and P3, and it looks like Numbskull just gets caught out, and Major Finish didn't have anywhere to go. Here's another look at it. Well, Rosie actually kind of started that.
Yeah, probably just a racing incident. You know, it's tough to say one driver at fault, but unfortunate for Numbskull.
Yep, and that will be a DNF for Numbskull, so he's got his work cut out for him. Sparks with 10 points, quite the lead going into race number 3, but will have his work cut out as well in the back. Here we go for race number 3. Numbskull out in front, Major Finish right behind. Rosie trying to make a move, but can't make it work. And to the line, Numbskull in P1, Major Finish in second, Rosie in third, and Ignis Sean Sparks coming in fourth.
That was a nice, clean race, guys. Way to go.
Sure was, and Numbskull picked up 5 valuable points. Is still in it. We've got one race to go, and it's all on the line here. Ignis Sparks needs a good result. Major Finish needs a good result. But here we go, waiting for the green lights. And they're off. Race number 4. Major Finish out in front. But here comes Sparks and Numbskull.
I have a feeling it's going to be close.
Here comes Sparks into that final corner, but Major Finish able to fend him off, picks up P1, and will lock himself into the next round. Here's the replay. Major Finish going into defensive mode, keeps Sparks behind him, and picks up P1 and secures his spot. So Ignis Sean Sparks with 14 points and Major Finish with 13.
Man, that was just some really great racing all around. Honestly, couldn't ask for more. That was awesome.
It sure was, and Sparks really just had a great car all day. And Big Poppy Racing ought to be happy with that number 7. Major Finish finished well, and we'll be moving on. Unfortunate, though, for Numbskull and Rosie, as the cars just didn't quite have it today, and that DNF really didn't help the number 12.
Yeah, I'm really just bummed for Numbskull. You had a cool car, honestly, but what are you going to do? I guess there's always next year.
But what's interesting as well is that most teams have 2 cars here, so we might see Numbskull again.
You know what they say, legends never die.
True. Well, here we go. We got Group 4. Here's your lineup. This is Al from Stupid Fish Racing.
Oh, I love that car. Well, next up, Mrs. Nefarious from Lone Grove, Oklahoma. I don't know, I have a bad feeling about that car.
Yeah, it just kind of feels dark. I'm kind of scared. Next up is Lady Apotheca Death. What is up with this death stuff?
And lastly, from Las Vegas, this is Driver in the number 48. I like Driver. He's a straightforward kind of guy.
Well, here we go for group number 4. This is race number 1.
I'm not really afraid of death. I was a race car driver for a long time, but I don't know, there's something a little different about these guys.
Well, we're going to try to keep this unbiased. Here's race number 1. Al in the front row, Mrs. Nefarious on the outside. They're off. Al getting a great jump. Qualified really well. And it's showing with all that clean air, getting a great jump. And out of the frame with a 10.8427. Picks up those 5 points. And here's the replay.
I thought for sure Driver would be a little more of a threat, but he really was off the pace, honestly.
Yeah, and Al was well out in front. Mrs. Nefarious there in second. Very clean race number 1 for this group. We will see if race number 2 shows us anything different here.
All I know is I don't want anyone to die.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let's definitely not jinx it. Here they go, green, and they're off. Race number 2, Driver struggling through the hairpin. And there goes Al, and Mrs. Nefarious out in front. Can anyone catch them today? In the battle for third, Driver will come in P3. And Lady Apotheca Death stuck in the back.
Did you say stabbed in the back?
No. Stuck in the back. Like, finished last place. P4.
Yeah, I just can't escape this eerie, dark. I'm just kind of scared, honestly.
It does feel a bit spiritual. I didn't think we were going to talk about spiritual stuff today, but they're green. Race number 3. Lady Death out in front. Mrs. Nefarious right behind. You would be very careful with those two as they cross the line. 1 and 2, and what a close finish for P3.
Looked like Al might have got him. I'm not sure, though.
Well, here's the replay, and again, Mrs. Nefarious, Lady Death out in front, and they come in P1, P2, and at the line, we'll have to go to the overhead slow motion camera, and it looks like Al just sneaks by, and yes, we'll pick up an extra point, finishing in P3. So here are the points going into the final race. Al with a lead at 12 points, and between Mrs. Nefarious and Lady Death, we should have a great battle in the front. The lights go green and they're off. Mrs. Nefarious off to a great start, and Al right behind in second place. Does Lady Death have any magic left?
I see what you did there.
And to the line, Mrs. Nefarious picks up 5 points, and we'll be moving on to round 2 with that win.
I guess the dark side is strong with this one.
That's a great reference. I honestly didn't think you knew anything about sci-fi, but here we are. Apparently, you can race and love Star Wars at the same time.
Well, what's pod racing anyway?
So Al is your winner with 15 points. Mrs. Nefarious right there in second place. Great racing today from them. Al has looked very competitive on track, qualified 13th, and proved today that he's got the car and the pace to compete.
I'm really sad about Driver, a straightforward guy. I mean, I thought he had a little more in him, but I'm just glad he came out to compete.
Yeah, it was a great day. Unfortunate for those two drivers that they will be eliminated from this tournament, but we've got a lot more racing left. Make sure to stick around for the highlights from today's races. Well, thank you again so much for watching here at Boss Championship Racing. You've been watching the IndyCar Tournament of 2024. If you like what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you at next week's race.